Hello, good evening, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Let's Talk Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go.
Here on Let's Talk Sports Network, also simulcasting on the Bottom Line Sports Network as well, because as always, joining me every week here on the show, the guys from the Bottom Line Sports, Mr. Flo and Canteen. Gentlemen, how we doing?
What's
Great,
up, man? I'm good, man. We're here. We're making it.
Yep. Definitely. And you know what, Flo? I was right. Dak was sat late in that game. It was about mid-third quarter when they finally benched him and they brought Cooper Rush in.
Yeah.
I know you were worried because it is a division game. I'll give you that. The division games are usually scary. The thing is, Dak Prescott has owned the New York Giants throughout his entire career. The two games he lost were his rookie year. The two games his rookie year. But since then, he has owned the New York Giants.
You're right, but late in the second quarter, it looked like I was going to be right, though.
I mean, yeah, they did score.
It was like 14. It was like 14 or
it was like 14-7. It was 14-7, I believe. And then the Cowboys just kind of broke away from there. So
it was close early.
I think it got up to like 49-7 at one point, and they ended up scoring 17 in garbage time. But still,
regardless, I'm glad you were right and I was wrong.
This was really the time we saw the offense be about as complete as it's been all season, aside from a certain Pollard who still has had issues, but Rico had a good game. Rico had a good game though.
Phenomenal game from him, man.
So
I like
if you combine all that with what Rico, Pollard did, and everything that the offense did, it was probably the most complete performance by the offense this year. Yes, It's the Giants. Yes, we know the Giants are awful. They're basically hunting for a quarterback at this point. They're probably in the Caleb Williams week sweepstakes coming in April, but you have to beat the team. You're supposed to beat the team that you're supposed to beat. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about Caleb Williams coming our way. You mean going like to New York or something like that? But
he's the Giants are going to be in on that quarterback carousel there. So
what are they going to do with Daniel Jones' contract though? That's going to be the problem.
They got to find some way to eat up all that money.
They're going to have to eat a lot of money. I mean, that's a big.
Now here's the ideal thing I think that could happen, man. I don't want us to get sidetracked, but I think that here's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
If I were the Bears, I would trade away Justin Fields to the Giants and bring in Williams.
What?
Yeah.
What's up, Sam?
What up, Sam?
Always on the LA Knight hype train here, as we do. Sam and I both are big fans of LA Knight, so got to keep it going for the boy. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for the shout out, AKA Mr. First Down. Go check him out, y'all. He's a great person. Fanboy Unleashed. His show Fanboy Unleashed. Plus, he does the AFC South Roundtable as well.
Is he going to have an exclusive show on Let's Talk?
I think he has the AFC South Roundtable, and of course he's a big part of the LTS show itself. So he's
okay. I know he's part of that show. I didn't know
him on Mondays, Thursdays, Sundays. Go check him out. He's a great dude. Love him to death. He's like a brother to me. So shout out to Sam for all that he does for the network as well. But yeah, it was a good week offensively. He said, and a newborn, and I'm very tired. Yes, we understand.
Hello, shout out for the newborn.
Yeah, he just had a baby son not too long ago, so he's like, thank God it's a boy, but still tired. But
is this first boy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, congratulations,
Has.
Sam.
I think he said he has two twin girls and a little boy. So
Oh, okay.
he is.
So that's the boy. The youngest is. So he has 3.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, Sam. I got 4.
He has a proud papa. So,
you got to catch up.
good.
You need one more. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Twin toddler girls. Twin toddler girls is what it
okay.
is. Is what he said.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, great job overall by the whole team. Really, special teams had a good game. Defense, even though they didn't get turnovers, or at least they got the one at the end. Deron Bland had another interception. But other than really that, it was a great game overall by the whole team. Offense looked great. We find Brandon Cooks. Where the hell has he been
all season?
Brandon Cooks sighting.
We got a Brandon Cooks sighting this week.
Yeah.
We got a Michael Gallup sighting this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake Ferguson had a touchdown as well.
Cook showed up last game or 2. Michael Gallup hasn't really showed up. He had one catch.
Yeah, he had the one big catch for the touchdown in this game. But Flo, I'll turn it to you. He said no thank. He said no thank you, Flo. He's fine with 3. Flo, I'll turn it to you. What were your overall thoughts on this game in general and how the Cowboys played?
I wasn't, like I said, I was a little worried about this game. I had a bad feeling about it early on. It was looking like I was going to be right. I think it was 0-14, and they were on the goal line, and they went for it like 4th and goal. And we got a stop. That was a big stop. I think if they get that touchdown, it turns into a slightly different game. But I think that kind of let the air out of the team once they lost that touchdown. Once they lost that touchdown on 4th and goal, I think that let a lot of the air out of the team, a lot of the air out of the players and the coaches. I don't know. It just feels like that was a key point of the game. And so, but I'm glad you were right and I was wrong. I was partially right, but you were more right definitely than I was. But I like what you were talking about earlier. I think I like splitting it up with Dowdo and let Pollard come in and do the change up, do the thing he was doing with Zeke, and let Rico be the power back, the guy who gets is a different type of back, the power guy, and let Pollard do what he was doing last year. I think that would work better in this offense. I don't know if I was hoping Deuce Vaughn and Lukey would have a bigger impact, that we would work them in, especially with a blowout win. I was hoping we would work them in a little more. I don't know if it's a coach's decision, like they're not really showing enough in practice, or if they just haven't had enough, reps to really put them in. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I maybe like you, Alan, I thought that Deuce Vaughn was going to have a bigger impact this year, going to have a few more, splash plays mixed in. But overall, it was great. It was a good game. It was a solid game. And the only thing I say, everybody says it's the Giants, but when who was it, the Jets that beat the Eagles, or everybody touts their defense. Oh, they have a great defense. No one was really saying that until after they beat them. So same thing with the Jets or Browns that beat I think the 49ers or whatever. They touted the defense and everything. But anyway, if we beat somebody, they were terrible and whatever. But anyway, yeah, that's the way it is with the Cowboys.
I mean, it's the NFL too. Any team can beat any team. I mean, the Cardinals are still a 2-8 team, but there's now that they got Kyler back, they can still be a place spoiler for the rest of the year.
I'm surprised they brought him back, but yeah,
and even this game, I know we'll get into the later. You were a little wary of the Panthers game coming up because the Panthers might play us a little bit tougher than what the Giants did.
Mm-hmm.
But
the Giants game first.
But yeah, we'll definitely get into that later. I do want to mention also another thing, Flo. We got to see another rookie make his debut in this game, Jalen Brooks. Coming in, our 7th-round pick, getting to play in this game due to the injury to Turpin. Turpin was out for this game. Of course, that meant Deuce Vaughn was returning punts and kicks. But we got to see a little bit of Jalen Brooks in this game, and he caught a few balls in this game and made some big plays for us in this one. So, so what'd you think of Jalen Brooks in his debut game?
Me or Ken?
Either or.
Okay, go ahead,
Or-
Ken. You
so
pick it up.
I mean, I want to hit the highlights of what I thought of the game. Like, can I hit the highlights?
Okay.
Like I uploaded?
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as Jalen Brooks, I was. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
touch on him. He did good. I think he had 3 or 4 receptions, but he looked pretty good as a rookie coming in. I really like him. He may be a bright spot later on down the line. Out of South Carolina, you might know a little bit about him. Canteen, he's out of SEC, but yeah, he looked pretty good, and he's a good size, 6'2", 205, so he's a decent size. And maybe he takes over at some point for Michael Gallup, at some point, or somebody maybe I don't know, because I don't think, for the most part, Gallup and Cooks, he's looked a lot better, but Gallup has really disappointed the last couple of years. And I gave him a benefit about last year coming off the injury, but this year, I mean, I don't know what to say. But yeah, he looked great. Jalen Brooks could have a bright future with us, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel better because that gives us depth at wide receiver, especially now also with Martavis Bryant coming in as well.
Martavis Bryant.
You've got a lot of depth at wide receiver, which is what the Cowboys didn't have last year,
Right.
which kind of hurt them in the end. They didn't have that depth at wide receiver. Now that they do, you have guys who now after what we saw from Jalen Brooks, the other guys haven't been too shabby. Tolbert hasn't been that bad. Turpin's kind of improved a lot this year as a wide receiver. Had the only touchdown in the 49ers game. And now you get Bryant coming into the fold. So any of these guys can step up if need be and come in and fill that spot. But Cam, what did you think of this game?
Man, I mean, I always pick our division games to be really, really close. But, as you and Flo said, we kind of took this one away, man. I mean, we had a field day with this game. When you look at the numbers, when I look at Prescott, Dak's numbers, he went 26 for 35, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. His numbers look phenomenal. Like top tier, phenomenal numbers from Dak. Rico Dowd, 12 carries, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. His numbers look good as well. So if we could supplement him and Pollard interchangeably, having them, interchange and do different things throughout the game, I think that'll be a great plus for us. And Cooks, where's Cooks been all year? Where's Brandon Cooks been? But he showed up on Sunday with 9 receptions, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. This is probably the most well put together game that I've seen us play all year. Well, against the division rival. Go ahead, Flo.
And just to caveat off of what you're saying, I think that this is the last 3 games, I think we've seen Dak and even some of the receivers feel more comfortable in this offense because, you change, everybody gave a lot of these, Lamar Jackson and Herbert and all these guys who got new coordinators. They gave them kind of the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they got new coordinators. No one, because McCarthy was calling plays and he was there last year, but he's a new coordinator. He's a new play caller. Yeah. We got a Schottenheimer, as a new coordinator. So there was a little bit of adjustment, I think, on the offense for us, and then the fact that early on the defense, was carrying us. The offense didn't have to do much. So I feel like now they're kind of hitting their stride. The offense, Dak feels a little more comfortable. The last 3 or 4 games, like I've always said, Dak started using his leg, moving around, and he throws some of his best balls on the run. And when he takes off, especially in the red zone, he can get 10 yards and get a touchdown. So I feel like they're finally feeling kind of comfortable and getting some chemistry within this new offense, and I think that takes time, and hopefully we'll continue to hit our stride with offense.
Yeah, man. And I mean, like when you look at on the defensive side of the ball, man, I mean, you had great performances from guys like Deron Bland, Damon Clark, Curse. I mean, all those guys, and Fowler Jr., Hooker. I mean, so most of our defensive players had a pretty solid game. So I feel really, really comfortable moving forward from here on out. I think tomorrow is like one of those trap games. And the only reason I say it's a trap game because you got a team like Carolina, they don't have anything to lose. They have nothing to lose, and they're gonna and Flo scrappy. But right now they got us coming. I mean, the points spread is 10.5, and we're playing in Carolina. So,
but as you guys well know, Cowboys fans travel well. There's a lot of them in the New York area, in the Florida area. They're going to make to make the migration up to Charlotte for that game. And, Carolina's even said they've been practicing hard count and, stuff like that for the inevitable. If Cowboy fans take over that stadium,
right.
in that game. So
But to
there
caveat,
it might be more Cowboy fans in that game. You never know.
right, and to
Right.
caveat on what you said, Canteen, if you notice, all our losses came on the road.
On the
So,
road at
you know, we
Arizona,
played a lot better at home
San
this
Fran.
year especially,
Mhm.
and so, you know, this could be one of those games that we gotta be careful, make sure we're we're
Yeah.
focused and we're hitting those things, and this may be the game I felt last week was gonna be kind of a game that I was a little leery about, because we're on the road and
And
you
then
know
here's
yeah,
another thing to caveat on what Flo was just saying, man. I mean, guys, y'all think about it. We traveled what, like, today, or we traveled Friday or today, got to Charlotte, right?
right.
We're gonna play in Charlotte, play the Panthers tomorrow. Gonna
Mhm.
beat feet back to Dallas. I mean, they're gonna do like a couple of walkthroughs, what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, look at some film and kind of. I mean, it's like a turn and burn, and then we play Thanksgiving Day at 4:30, and that's a division game. I mean, you got a 4-6 Commanders team.
Right.
They're hungry.
That
Yeah.
team, a team that can still make the playoffs, and let's not
Right.
forget Sam Howell leads the league in passing.
Right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely.
And if you notice the Chargers game, even though we did have a lot of fans that traveled with us, it was a road game and we only won that by 3. So I feel like maybe hopefully we blow them out. I don't know. I feel like Carolina's going to cover. I still feel like we win this game, just at first glance. But all our road games this year, especially, we've struggled a bit, and so hopefully, to win the game exactly. Or
The
we
best,
all about
the,
y'all
bo- the
stepping in the road,
best
right?
game, our best road game was actually one that we lost. I'd say it was the one in Philadelphia.
Right.
It was our
Yeah,
best road game.
we still lost, right? We played well though, and
Yeah.
that's a plus that we did play well.
And
that was
then the
we could've
Chargers
won that
game, the Chargers game on the road is the one where we finally started to wake up a little bit, and,
right.
and find our footing.
And so it could be partly that the offense is finally getting their stride, like I was saying, and that's what I'm hoping as we move forward. But just looking at our history this season, the road games have been either losses or tough, hard wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are your feelings on McCarthy this year? Sam asked the question. He's not comfortable with Mike McCarthy, especially with his issues in clock management at the end of games. Sometimes it kind of reared its ugly head in that Philadelphia game. They are still having some issues with penalties especially on the road.
Yeah.
What were we thinking about McCarthy so far right now?
Yeah, I mean it's hard. Any coach that coaches for the Cowboys is going to have, to deal with Jerry Jones to some degree, and so they're not going to be able to coach like they may want to coach, right? Just because Jerry Jones is heavily involved in a lot of those things, and doesn't let the coach like they want to. So I mean, I trust McCarthy to a degree, and I think a lot of that, I think we like a little discipline on the road. That's what scares me. And I don't know if that's all on McCarthy. Ultimately, I guess it is on McCarthy because he's the head coach. But we all know, if you've been a Cowboy fan for any amount of time, Jerry Jones, has his fingers in everything. And that's the problem sometimes for these head coaches is they don't have the full trust of the team. They don't have full control over the players. They can always, always play the mommy dad game. And, if mommy doesn't give me, I'll go, Daddy Jerry, and he'll take care of it for me, and that's the problem with any head coach that we've had. And so I do trust Mike McCarthy. I've trusted him more and more. I like the way the offense has been continuing to evolve this season. And like Dak it feels like he feels more comfortable. And that's the one thing I do like. He does have some of those issues, few, but I think hasn't been that big of a deal this season, especially later as the season has gone on. I think those things have I feel better about McCarthy. I feel better about how the offense is looking overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ken, how you feel?
Hey, I think the offense looks great, man. I mean, if you look at it each week, we keep building upon precept upon precept. We just keep building. Now, what I like, an offensive coordinator, somebody to call the plays, of course, yeah. I mean, I feel comfortable with McCarthy, and like I said, for the most part, the things that have really hit us hard are the road loss. And like as we said earlier, every loss that we've had, it's been on the road. Mm-hmm. The 3 losses one was at San Fran, one was in Arizona, and then we lost a close. We should have beat Philly, man. I mean, that's just the.
But like you said, like we said, Ken, I mean, I like the way the offense has looked
right.
throughout the season. So even though, like Alan said, even though we lost that game, the offense looked good. Dak still looked good. I
And
think
that,
it started. It started in
and
the
the thing about
Chargers game. I think.
go ahead, Flo. The thing
I think
about Dak, he's comfortable, man.
right,
He don't
getting
seem
more and more
frantic.
comfortable.
He don't seem frustrated. He don't seem like he's rushing to make any plays or do anything like that.
Yeah,
But he has the ability to play well versed, and he can just play smooth.
right. He definitely looks more comfortable in the offense, especially the last 3 or 4 games. He's begun to really feel. You can tell he feels more comfortable in what the play calling and the flow of the offense.
Yeah,
that's the encouraging part, for me, Alan.
And he's starting to dish it out to more than just CeeDee Lamb. Even though Lamb is having a monster last few weeks, he's been incredible as far as receiving yardage and touchdowns and whatnot the last few weeks. But you mentioned it. Brandon Cooks had the big game. Michael Gallup had the big touchdown. Jake Ferguson had a touchdown. Dowdle had a touchdown.
Right.
They got Jalen Brooks involved. They've been getting Turpin and more involved in the offense. Jalen Tolbert caught a couple balls. They're trying to make what I think they're doing. They're trying to make Jake Ferguson that kind of Jason Witten type player, that reliable security blanket for him.
Right.
And he's starting to become more and more like that. Not quite what Jason Witten was, but he's the guy you can go to other than CeeDee Lamb on certain possessions. On third, Sam's asking, "What's that on your head? Is that a
It's a cowboy bandana, man.
Cowboy bandana.
It's a bandana.
Hey, you get it on Amazon. I think they have Titan one too, if you want one.
Or he's a Tennessee Titans fan. I think he was Cowboys until the Titans got there. So
what?
But he's in that Tennessee area. He gets to go to the stadium almost every weekend. I think I believe if I'm not mistaken, Sam's a season ticket holder for the Titans.
Oh wow! Nice.
He gets to go to all the home games. So
he's got money then. That's right.
I mean, you think.
Season ticket holder, man. Those people.
Here's the thing.
Pretty well.
Here's the thing. He said no thank you.
He's
not coming back.
You don't want to come back to Dallas.
He don't want to come back to Dallas.
He could get that Houston Oilers throwback bandana if he wants to.
Oh, Houston Oilers throwback. That'd be nice. Yeah. I am a season ticket holder.
A season ticket holder. No money, just save. Yeah, I mean, it helps when you save. So
financially sound. Ooh.
Financially,
that means he's got money, but he don't want to say.
Sam using all the big words tonight,
right?
He's not saving it. You're not saving them for the LTS show tomorrow, Sam. Someone's got to teach these guys the big words,
right? Yeah, you got to teach them those big words, and then you may have to define them.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, overall, great performance from the offense last week.
Yep.
I know Carlos was on me about if the Giants score. He's not a believer in the Giants at all. He's a Giants fan, and he's not a believer in his team right now at all, and rightfully so. Giants fans are frustrated because this team is not good.
I mean, he was depressing me the last time I heard him.
Yeah, they overpaid for a meh quarterback. They overpaid for a meh quarterback.
Teach him.
They didn't pay Saquon properly, and now he's kind of in and out of the lineup. You have weapons, you just don't have an offensive line. Evan Neal has been a complete bust. Andrew Thomas is always hurt, and other than that, you really don't have any offensive line support at all there in New York. So it's not just the quarterback. Although Daniel Jones gets a lot of the hate because, much like with the Cowboys, if you're a New York quarterback, whether it's the Jets or the Giants, you're going to get a lot of flack.
Yeah,
and I like to blame Joe Namath for that because of how flamboyant he was in New York, and even the guarantee to win Super Bowl III kind of. And that's kind of the curse that Jets and Giants quarterbacks have to go through in the New York market. So.
Yeah.
If I use big words, they will just stare at me.
Oh, he was
He
Eagles
was an
fan.
Eagles fan.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
It's all right.
you and Ryan might get along. Yeah.
All right.
Always wanted a team in my hometown, and I got one.
Yeah, that's
So
good. Well,
Tennessee.
that's fair. That's fair.
How does Tennessee
I'm
get-
excited. I'm excited for your quarterback. I think you found your
Levis?
quarterback finally. Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Maybe. We'll
Kentucky
see.
guy.
Let's see how he does the rest of the season. He had the one big
Improve the
game.
offensive line a little bit more.
Last game was so.
Get another big play receiver. I think you guys will be fine. You might have to bounce off of Derrick Henry though, because he's starting to show his age a little bit.
Yeah. You come on our show, Mr. First Down.
I don't know. Him plus Hot Take Jake plus.
Oh yeah, Hot Take Jake, man. Woo!
That'll be interesting.
You've never seen Hot Take Jake. You've got to watch this show.
How is it that two Cowboy fans have two AFC West guys on their show? That don't make sense to me.
It's happenstance, it just happenstance. It just happened that way.
Well, both of their teams, sorry.
Yeah.
Both of their teams. So I mean, they're fighting for like second and third place, and
right.
Both of them still have a shot at the playoffs.
They definitely do.
How the AFC is right now.
The way it's shaking out, and the Chargers basically giving the second place up. Giving it away.
And Buffalo, my God.
Yeah, Buffalo. Man.
Buffalo's falling apart. Joe Burrow's out for the year. The
But
AFC
to be
is wide
fair,
open.
Alan, Buffalo gave away that game. They basically gave that game to the Broncos.
And then of
penalties and just turnovers and everything.
And of course, Flo, I need you to write a letter to your college quarterback, Mr. Mahomes, to take care of Philadelphia this weekend on Monday night.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping. Though my wife now she's I'll get you. She's kind of still a Cowboys fan, but she's a Chiefs fan. And last week she went 10-4, and she just picks based on color and
color scheme picking. I remember you said that
color scheme. And she was 10-4 last week. I mean, amazing. Shout out to my wife for being 10-4 last week. And so, but this week, unfortunately, Alan, she picked the Eagles to beat the Chiefs. So hopefully that's one of the games she's wrong on. I'm just hoping. But yeah, so
I'll tell you what.
It's 10-4 is pretty good.
I understand, Sam. Jake's not everybody's cup of tea. He does have those wild takes, as Flo kind of alluded to earlier. Those unbelievable wild takes. It would be nice. It'd be funny to get him and Carlos on a show because both of them have completely wild takes.
It would be. That might be a fun show.
Hot Take Jake and the Mad New Yorker. That would be something to watch, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Yeah, we might have to put that together sometime. Put a special edition show.
I don't know if these guys could handle each other. Make their
this is what we'll do. We'll wait till they're both out of the playoffs. We know the Giants are. We're just waiting on the Broncos. So we'll just have to wait. And once the Broncos are out, then we'll have them on and just disgruntled fans. That should be fun.
Yeah, Sam agrees. Time to trade Derek. Father Time is undefeated.
I mean, but he's still solid right now. I mean, it's not like he's washed completely. He's still solid.
They have a young rookie that's good.
Trade him while you can get something for him too, though. At the same time,
they got a budding rookie running back too that they got from Tulane last year, Tajay Spears, who's pretty good. So
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, do you think a prominent team will pick Henry up though?
I don't know.
You never know. I mean,
somebody will pick him up.
I'll be honest. If Jerry gives Tennessee a call in the offseason, would you like to see Derrick Henry wear the star?
I wish we would have got him now. We should have got him now.
I feel like
I would have rather got him right now.
Yeah, right
when
now.
He's needed right now.
I would say this year. Yeah. Next year, maybe we can just find somebody else. You got another year on the tread, a hopeful another year, and Derrick's already looking like he's on the other side of his prime. And so I don't know, based on what, and it depends on what we can get him for. If we can get him on the cheap,
Derrick's going to be a free agent, I believe. Derrick Henry is.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if we can get him on the cheap, but I think he's going to try and get a big, his last semi-big contract.
Well, the thing is, running backs are having issues with that right now.
Right. But I'm saying, as running backs get paid, as running back pay goes, he's going to want to get that high end, dollar for a running back, and I don't know if we're because and what we're gonna do with Pollard, and I don't know. I mean, we can't franchise him next year. I don't think so, but I don't know what to. We're at this. We just got to do this year, and then we're gonna have to figure out the running back next year. The running back.
Yeah, there's going to be some interesting plays. I don't even know if there's many running backs that are going to be coming out this year that you could say, oh, maybe this guy could be worth picking up.
Texas Tech! Shout out Texas Tech for.
And I'll even say
he looks good. He can get he just falls forward and he still gets 3 or 4 or 5 yards. He had 178 yards today, for Texas Tech. So Taj Brooks could be a good late rounder that someone could pick up from Texas Tech. Shout out.
Tennessee tried trading but didn't get any good offers from what Sam said. So,
okay.
I like Brooks. I like Brooks a lot. Will Shipley in Texas. That's another guy that you might.
There'll be a few out there that. That you can get them probably middle rounds and get a decent running back. So hopefully we can get a.
I don't know if he's going pro next year, but Ollie Gordon in Oklahoma State as well, who's leading the league in leading college football in rushing right now, I think.
Right.
So that's another one maybe to look for down in the future. I don't know if there's a really good running back in this draft class, so they might have to just pay Pollard. But
yeah. I think Taj Brooks or
either that or run with Dowdle.
Yeah, Taj Brooks has the most after contact yards after contact in the country right now for Texas Tech. So
Brooks, yeah. Sam says Brooks and Shipley for sure.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Those would be two good ones. But anyway, we're gonna move on to Carolina.
Before we get more off of a tangent, as we do.
Trying to get your show back on track.
Let's get into it. Dallas on the road in Carolina this week, as Flo kind of mentioned, 2-3 on the road. All 3 losses have come on the road. Carolina, their only win of the year came at home this year, but not a good team overall. They struggled a lot in their last few games. Stats-wise, passing leaders, of course, Dak Prescott, 24-15 in passing yards, 2,415 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Bryce Young, 1,560 pass yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I believe he's the second most sacked quarterback in the NFL right now because their offensive line has had struggles basically all year long. Pollard is their rushing leader, as our rushing leader, of course, but only 529 yards, which, 10, 11 weeks into the season, that's definitely a big concern there. He does have 2 touchdowns. The Panthers aren't much better at running the ball. Chuba Hubbard, only 351 yards to lead the team and only 1 touchdown. So Panthers aren't any better. And then, of course, wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb having another fantastic year, 68 catches, 975 yards, 4 touchdowns. Adam Thielen, who's still doing Adam Thielen things even in his late stages of his career, 652 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's basically the only guy that Bryce Young throws to in this offense, or at least the only guy that could really catch a football. I mean, he's still got talent. Don't get me wrong. Hayden Hurst is still there. Tommy Tremble's not a bad tight end. The thing is that he's not really getting much time to throw the ball. And plus, with how short, I know people, the short quarterback trope is something that people like to rag on. And I know we had Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, but so far it really hasn't worked out for Bryce Young. So
plus, as Mr. First Down says, he lined up behind a guard.
Yeah,
to try and get the ball. So that's not good. But yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. Typical rookie mistakes, Even Stroud has made some of those rookie mistakes. Not that one, but some rookie mistakes. Even though he's done really well for a rookie.
And I mean, it is the system too. I mean, Frank Wright is not. That system is not easy to learn in day one. It's been very complicated for him. They've been trying to alter it to fit Bryce Young's needs, but And I think Kirk Herbstreit said it best. It's like, it's not Bryce Young's fault for the way he's playing. It's the system. The system does not fit him. And trying to put him in a system that does not work is kind of hindering Carolina a little bit. Because remember, last year at this time, even though they were probably about a 3-4 win team, they were still alive for the division, and they finished second place, which is the reason why we're playing them this year, as far as what the scheduling was. But they just kind of fallen apart. They've had a lot of defensive injuries, and
they had a pretty decent defense last year, but I guess all those injuries have caught up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina looks bad.
And yes, Sam's telling me he quoted The Athletic, his favorite magazine. So, as a running joke, Sam loves The Athletic. So,
nice.
No, so let me say this, Alan. When I look at Carolina, man, I look at their overall team. They're 1-8. When I look at their last 5 games, man, in the last 5 games, that's when they won. They barely beat Houston. They beat Houston 15-13 in Houston.
As I like to say, a frisky Houston team.
A frisky Houston team. But Houston looks to be promising and on the rise. Now, what I would say is when they lost a close game to Chicago 16-13, Indianapolis kind of had a field day with them 27-13. They got blown out at Miami 42-21, and they got blown out at Detroit 42-24. For us, man, I would say we got to be careful going on the road into Carolina, and they're hungry. They have nothing to lose. I mean, they're only playing for
that Miami game. They led 14-0 to start that game.
Right.
So
I mean,
again, keep an eye on them.
They're playing for keeps, man. They're playing for keeps. They're playing for picks. They're trying to figure out their way, what they're going to do. Nation, and honestly, they need offensive linemen. Their offensive line is horrible. They're not protecting Bryce Young at all. So, I mean, as we said earlier, I think we'll cover. I mean, I think we'll have a great game. Like I said, my biggest concern for us as Dallas is going on the road and making a turn and burn trip to get back and play before Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Like Mr. First Down said, you can't play down to their level. And that's sometimes what we do. And that's what I'm hoping for, that we stay focused. Hey, keep working on stuff that you got to work on. I mean, these are the games that you work on. You don't totally go new things, but you work on things that have been working well for you, and things that you've been doing well on your offense, especially. And that this is when you do work on those things and try and fine tune the plays that have worked for you and the way the offense has been running. Fine tune some of those things, but stay focused. Don't feel like it's a gimme game, right? Just go out there and hey, once it's a blowout, it's a blowout, right? Once it's a blowout, then you can get some rest, then you can relax. But let's get it to a blowout first before they relax and
get it to a
blowout. And don't overlook teams either. I know they got Washington coming to town on Thanksgiving next week.
Right.
Don't be overlooking Carolina because of that.
That's the key. You can't overlook them, and that's where I think. The only way I can say I don't trust McCarthy is that I don't know if he can keep them focused, right? I don't know. He's not that kind of coach. He's not a big motivational rah guy that can keep you motivated. He's not that kind of guy, and that's I'm just trying to figure out. Hopefully, he can keep them focused on the task at hand, and get them ready to play, right? And that's the thing. I guess the only thing I can say I don't trust McCarthy is that he'll get them ready to play these games where they should really dominate. And that's where I'm a little leery, with McCarthy as the head coach in some of these kind of games.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I mean, he hasn't proven that to me in the past. That's what's kind of happened. That they're not ready for. Kind of like the Arizona game. It didn't seem like they were ready to play that game, and so he hasn't proven that.
It's like on an airplane.
Yeah, he hasn't proven that yet to me that he can get them ready for those games that should be gimmies, for lack of a better term. He hasn't shown that he's been able in the last few years that he hasn't shown that he's been able to get them ready for those games, and that's the only thing that I would say I'm worried about with McCarthy.
He asked me what was I drinking. I was like, nah, man, that's not dip. Nah, I eat sunflower seeds, and then I'm having some Jack and Coke. Yeah, I eat a lot of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, he's a sunflower.
But for me, man,
he likes to eat on camera.
Very unprofessional, but
very unprofessional. But that's what he does.
I gotta have sunflower seeds. It's like life, man. I gotta have them. But when we look ahead at what we got, I mean, like I said,
Hey, Ken, quick story. I had a first star and he looked like a chipmunk. He used to carry sunflower seeds in his mouth, and he'd be talking and he'd be spitting them out as he's going. Anyway, a funny story, man. A first sergeant, man. He was a country guy, man, but he'd always have sunflower seeds in his cheek, man. It was the funniest thing.
I have them, man. But like I said, looking ahead, man, Carolina. Then we got I mean, when we look at the next 3 weeks, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm okay with not winning all 3. I'd rather win 2. I'd rather win all 3.
Oh, for
but
sure.
If we can win at least 2 out of 3 and pound the Eagles coming into Dallas, I feel good. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
But winning all 3 is good. Winning all 3 is good.
And remember, the Cowboys have a 12-game win streak at home, so they've been dominant in Cowboy Stadium the last few years. So
right. I think I think we win this game and we just continue to build on each game, right? Mm-hmm. You should win the Carolina. It should be a gimme game. It should be one that you beat them down. Washington's gonna be maybe a tough game because it's divisional, right? And then Seattle could be tough, but I'm hoping that each game we're building and getting better on,
what's his name, man?
Offense. What's up,
Mr. First? Yeah, I've already been there,
Sam Dean.
Hey, Mr. First Name, I've already been to Lynchburg, Tennessee, where they actually distill the Jack Daniels. I've also been to Kentucky, where they make Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is one of my favorite drinks too. I like Woodford Reserve as well.
Hey, I showed you that. Or did you know that one before? Yeah. Woodford Reserve, nice. That's a nice.
But hey, I feel good about us, man. I feel good, man. I think we're gonna make a run and catch a fire. Let me give you my projections for the rest of the year, man. I'm pretty sure we're gonna beat Carolina tomorrow. We'll beat the Commanders. Seahawks maybe we'll beat Seahawks at home. Eagles, we got to beat the Eagles. Then we got like a few road games, like going to the new year, man. We end up going to Orchard Park. It's hard to play up there with the Bills, man. But the Bills have already tanked, and it's cold for us. But the Bills, they're on a downhill slide.
Well, the ultimate right canteen would be just win out.
Win out.
that would be the ultimate, right? If once we get past the Eagles,
can you imagine what that would be like in the media if the Cowboys won out, beating Buffalo in Buffalo, Miami in Miami, Detroit at home? That's 3 tough games, 4 in a row if you count Philly coming to our building too. So
that's true. Yeah, and the unreasonable and I consider myself a reasonable Cowboy fan. But the unreasonable Cowboy fans would be going nuts if we went out. So I don't know how that would work.
If we win out, we're winning the division.
Oh, for sure.
Plain
but
and
I'm
simple.
Just saying, yeah, for sure. Because I think the Eagles got some tough games while we have a few.
Because and I'll be honest, I know your wife picked Phil. I know your wife picked Philly Monday night, but let's face the facts. Andy Reid is 20-4 off a bye week. He's 5-0 with Patrick Mahomes off the bye week, and they're at home. They are in Kansas City, where that place goes nuts, especially in prime time.
There's a lot of stats you can put back and forth, but they said Jalen Hurts is 12-1 against winning teams. He's 12-1.
Yeah, so, the one loss being the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm just saying. So it's gonna be a tough game. Yeah, I'm hoping that she didn't get them all right. So hopefully that's one of the ones she gets wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I say every time.
That's why I think if we win these next 3 games, we're going to make up a lot of ground on Philadelphia because they got to play Buffalo too, and I believe San Francisco as well. So two of those three games, it's all in a row. They got Kansas City in the Super Bowl rematch. They got Buffalo and they got San Francisco all in a row.
Next 3 games.
So those 2 of those 3 games could likely be losses. And if the Cowboys were to win out and win all 3 of their games, we're basically tied. We're basically tied at that point with them coming into our building. So
Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, and then Dallas. Wow. And then they got Seattle.
They lose 2 of the next 3. They're tied coming into Dallas. And if we win out, so
right.
We just need to beat them head to head. We just need to beat them head to head.
You beat them at home. You're basically in the driver's seat for the division.
Yeah,
it's just going to be going to Miami, going to Buffalo. And
I mean,
then
they play Buffalo.
Detroit, who's not going to be a slouch. Let's be honest. Detroit's
Yeah,
not
for
going to be a
sure.
slouch.
No, I mean, it won't be easy to win out. I'm just saying that would be
Detroit,
great. The ultimate
Detroit.
right now.
How weird will this be? Detroit Dallas could be for the number 1 seed.
It's possible.
Who would have thought that in anyone's life?
Well, I think Hot Take Jake would have. I think. I think he had the Lions number 1 seed. I think didn't he have the Lions number 1?
He had Lions number 1.
Yeah. I think he had Lions in Miami.
Well, Miami's probably out at that point, but
not really. They're not completely.
Not really, but I don't.
Yeah,
see
right
them
now
getting,
they're definitely not in the driver's seat. Let's just say.
Yeah, Chiefs have the head-to-head for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, but
I believe they won that Germany game by 7. So
yeah,
but sure. So Carolina, this should be an easy game. Don't like to take the Panthers lightly because they could catch a fire a little bit. Adam Thielen has caused the Cowboys problems in the past when he was with Minnesota, so it's not going to be an easy game by any means. I do think that the Cowboys will handle their business and take care of things. I think last night I said, was it last night? No, it was Thursday night. We did the NFC show Thursday night because I moved on Wednesday. But I believe Thursday night I said 31-10. I think 31-7 or 31-10.
Is that your call for this game?
For this game against Carolina, okay. I think the Cowboys offense continues to roll. I think you'll finally start. I think they'll use Tony Pollard more in the passing game. I think they should anyway. And if they utilize Pollard in the passing game a little bit more, I think he can start breaking loose a bit. I think Brandon Cooks will have another good game. Maybe we'll see. I think Turpin's supposed to be back in this game, so we might see him in the offense a little bit more. But yeah, I'd say 31, 38-10 probably is my score prediction there. What do you guys think, Flo? I'll start with you.
You want a score prediction?
Overall thoughts on the game, and then a score prediction.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that we continue to mix in Rico in this game with Pollard. I don't know if getting Pollard in the passing game will help. I'm not sure. I just feel like he's better. Pollard is just better when he's like being that change-up guy. He's not as good, I don't feel like, when he's being the main guy. So I feel like maybe we feed Dowdle kind of like we did this last game. Feed him a little more than we normally have, and let kind of Dowdle be the lead horse, for lack of a better term, and let Pollard be the change-up guy, even though that's not necessarily the way it's designed because of, how Pollard's getting, the franchise tag, and Rico's just a guy. He's not the guy. But I like the mix-up back and forth. So I'm hoping that's what happens, that we kind of do what we did the last game, and they both get within that 60, 70-yard, anywhere from 60 to 80 yards, that they both get somewhere in there. And then if they can mix in Pollard in the pass game, that'd be great. I just don't know. We got enough receivers at this point to try and get it to. You got CeeDee Lamb. Always get CeeDee Lamb. That's what I'm hoping. That's what's worked these last few games, is get him involved early. Get it in CeeDee Lamb's and get him involved early for sure. And then sprinkle in Brooks and Gallup and maybe even Turpin and maybe even Tolbert, just depending. But I just feel like we got enough receivers where Pollard doesn't need to be involved too much in the passing game. And then I think we're getting Hendershot back this week. I don't know. Did you hear anything? I thought we were getting Hendershot back. But anyway, hopefully, I think Hendershot's a little better than Schoonmaker. Get Jake Ferguson involved in some of those big third downs. And Dak continues to use his legs. I mean, just keep using his legs just how he's been, Doesn't have to be 10 runs, but just running, rolling out left and right and bootlegging, and maybe inside the red zone, taking off every now and then and running and either for a first down or a touchdown. And so that's what I'm hoping for, that we continue to work on those things and continue to work on the plays that have worked for us and just fine tune them, in this game. And hopefully I think this will be a blowout. I'm thinking it's going to be something not as crazy as the last game. What was it, 49-17 last game? I'm going to say something. It's going to be somewhere. I'm going to give Dak three touchdowns at least. Maybe one rushing. I don't know. I'm gonna say somewhere in the neighborhood of. Let me see. Let's just say 45-17 again. 45-17. Similar to the last game. I'm hoping that we blow them out. Who knows? Hopefully McCarthy gets them. That's my only trepidation is on the road. We've struggled. So I'm hoping this kind of we get over that hump of the road, and struggling on the road, that this is the kind of takes us over that hump, so to speak, that we do really well on the road and play a really good game on the road, what we're capable of doing. And hopefully I think the defense might come up with, since we didn't get any last time really, like turnovers. Hopefully we get 1 or 2 turnovers in this game. And that's what helps us get that blowout win.
Ken, what do you think?
Mirror the exact same game plan we had last week with the Giants. Same. I mean, the same. It's the same. It's the same formality, man. Same game plan, same formality. Because you got to look at both teams. They're in the same condition. Both teams are horrible offense, defense. Their offensive lines. The quarterbacks are not horrible, but I mean, you got DeVito that played for the Giants, and then you got Bryce Young that plays for Carolina. I think we'll have an explosive game. I'll give you my prediction. Feel good about us, man. I think we're going to go 37 for Dallas, 17 for Carolina. I think Carolina may put a few points on the board, but I think it'll be a 20-point gap, and we'll be able to do what we got to do.
I did hear that Hendershot was a full participant in practice, so he might be back. They are activating Rashaan Evans full-time onto the active roster with the news, of course, of LVE being out for the year. And now it looks like he might lose his career as well because of the neck injury that he suffered against Trent Williams, of all people, Leighton Vander Esch.
Oh, really?
He might be his career might be done. There's a chance that it might be done after the hit he took from Trent Williams in that game against San Francisco that knocked him out of that game. Of course, re-injured his neck. Of course, everybody loves to say that Trent Williams is a dirty player, but he's one of the better offensive linemen. Is he a dirty player? Kinda, but you would hate for that. You would hate for that to be his last game of his career, but.
And I just saw this. I hope he's for sure doing better. I just saw this. Sorry, Alan. That Rico Dowdle's questionable for the Carolina game.
Oh man.
Yeah, Dowdle's listed as questionable. It still shows Hendershot on IR, but it did say that he was a full participant in practice Wednesday. So maybe he might be reactivated off, and he might get to play in this game. Who knows? But I know for sure we'll have Rashaan Evans fully activated for this game, so he'll be on to help with that linebacker depth. There's still no words. I know they brought Carl Davis in, defensive back, and then of course Martavis Bryant as well. They're still designated to the practice squad, so these guys, no news on them. And
I mean, to be honest, it would. This would be a good game to put in Martavis Bryant. Get him a rep or two. But I guess they're not going to have him in this game. But maybe he's just not ready. Maybe they just hadn't got enough reps. But this would be a good game to put him in there in the red zone or something. Even if as a decoy. But
would you put him in Thanksgiving if he's ready? Even though it's a short week.
Let him go.
I think that'd be a good way. I mean, even if you don't have to put him in every play, but maybe a couple plays here and there, mix him in here and there, and and see how he feels out there, and see how Dak feels with him. See if he's got some, starting to get into chemistry with Dak, just to get him out there on the field. Because I think he's going to be key late in the season and maybe into the playoffs, depending, on how he, how he's able to mesh with the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice to get him a few reps in the season, before the end of the year.
Well, gentlemen, as always, this has been fun. I enjoy doing this show with you guys a lot.
Yeah.
We've only got a few more weeks left. Next week there won't be a Cowboy show because, of course, we are playing on Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I think we've decided that I'll be coming on the Bottom Line Sports on their Tuesday show, which Flo will tell you more about that later on. But and we'll be talking about not just the Cowboys game, but the Thanksgiving slate as well, the entire Thanksgiving Day slate of NFL games that will be going on next week.
Yeah, we'll do our post game on Sunday, so we'll already have talked about that tomorrow's game, but we'll definitely preview Thanksgiving.
And then we'll have to figure something out for the week after, because we are playing the Thursday night game the week after against Seattle. So we'll definitely have to figure something out for that too. So maybe I could come on for a second week in a row.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, you could do that. Yeah.
I mean, you guys do preview the Thursday night games on Tuesdays, don't you?
Right. Yeah, we usually do.
So I could come on for that little segment. We can talk about that. So
yeah. We usually do the NFL towards the end of the show or midway through. It just depends how many topics we have. Other sports, but yeah. You can do 2 weeks in a row, and that's how we handle that for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So our proper return to this show will be actually, ironically, the week you guys go to Dallas for the Eagles Cowboys game. So
we'll probably be on the road. We're probably on our phones.
Wouldn't that be something?
Doing it like this? We'll be like, "Hey, what's up, Alan?"
Or if you want to wait till you get to a hotel or something, we can do that night. So.
Yeah, we can do it later.
We'll figure all this out for when this show will be back on. So definitely keep an eye out. We'll announce it at some point. But Flo, Ken, where can the people find you guys at? What y'all got coming up?
Flo,
you want to do it? You want me to do it?
Nah, man. Hey, you got to spin to do it. You know.
Okay, so you can find me and my guy down here, Canteen. And then Hot Take Jake, you never heard him, you gotta watch him. And Omar, the sports professor. You gotta go find them, and come join the show, Mr. First Down. On Sundays, we do a wrap up of the NFL for the day, and we're gonna add this Sunday. We're gonna try and add so that way our Tuesday show we can kind of tighten it up a little. We're gonna do a little bit of college wrap up on Sunday, a little bit, and talk about some of the key games that happen today. Tomorrow on Sunday show. So we'll start usually at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern on the Bottom Line Sports, and we'll also be on Let's Talk Sports and also Omar's pages, and we'll be on Twitch and Twitter. But at the Bottom Line Sports, that's where you'll find us. We're gonna mix in a little college wrap up, but we'll do a lot of NFL wrap up show, and then we'll preview Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. And then we'll probably bleed into a little bit of the Sunday Night Football game, but it's okay. You guys can watch it later. Nothing happens the first quarter anyway, right? But then on Tuesdays, Alan's going to join us. We do a show at 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. I'm on Mountain Time now in El Paso, but 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. We do a show. It's about an hour and a half long. Sometimes it runs a little over, and we hit on different sports, NBA, and different things. We were hit on baseball before it was over, and then we'll preview Thursday night game and hit a few of the college games coming up this next Saturday and all that kind of stuff. And so catch us on The Bottom Line Sports, 6:30 on Sunday Central, 6:30 Central, and 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And you catch us on The Bottom Line Sports.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, for me, I'll be on the Sunday night post-game show tomorrow night with Rob Logan and Johnny Cruz. As we get ready, I believe we actually have a good Sunday night game this week, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a pretty good one.
So we might actually have to wait until it's actually over for this one for once, instead of.
Well, it's Jake's Broncos and the Vikings, so it's a big game for our show.
It could still be a really good one. So Jake's going to be watching. Jake's going to be watching this game like a hawk.
He will be unbearable. I mean,
if they win in Minnesota, you're definitely right.
Oh man, he'll be unbearable for the next week or so until they lose to the Bills. Or who's the next game they have? I can't remember. Who do they got after that?
Broncos.
They got a couple of tough games. Let's see who they got after.
Well,
They
they
got
might lose to
Vikings.
Minnesota Sunday.
Then they got the
Cleveland.
Browns after
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Cleveland, and then a frisky Houston team. So
Yeah.
I already told Jake, if you beat Minnesota and Cleveland, then we'll stop talking playoffs for you. But to be fair, I think I had Denver second place. I think at the beginning of the season, so I had them, doing pretty well. Just the way they started out, it didn't look too good. But don't tell Jake that.
Yeah, don't.
Don't
you don't want to get him riled up.
I don't get him riled up. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good for the show. It's not good for me.
But yeah, Sunday night for me. Sunday night post game show we might actually go on early if it's a bad game, but with Minnesota, with how good they've been playing, even with Josh Dobbs coming in. I mean, kudos to Josh Dobbs and what he's done.
That's what I said.
Not just in Arizona, but Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. He was on the Browns in the preseason. He was their backup quarterback before he got traded to Arizona.
Right. And what if he was there now, man?
Wouldn't that be something? If he was in Cleveland right now, the Browns would still be a contender to go to the playoffs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But shout out to him. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's trying to do his best. He's this generation's Fitzpatrick.
Well, you know what Jake would say if he was on here right now. He'd be calling him a scrub, and he said he ain't doing nothing against the Denver defense.
Yeah, well, right now because he's playing Minnesota. Yeah, well, we'll see. If he beats Minnesota, if they beat Minnesota and Cleveland, I'll be surprised. I mean, because that's like a 5-game winning streak for them. That would then I told him he's for sure going to be we talk playoffs for the Broncos if they win the next 2 games.
Yeah, if they beat the Browns and then they beat Minnesota, then they got Houston.
And remember, the Browns are going to have Watson's out for the year, so the Browns are going to either have DTR or
they have a good
Walker.
Defense, they have a solid defense.
Yeah, Browns have one of the better defenses in the league. I believe they're still top 5. So,
but didn't they beat the 49ers with PJ Walker or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're capable of beating good teams, So I'm just saying they have a really good defense.
They can do it for sure. They can do it.
And Houston's frisky right now, so we'll see what happens with Houston when they play them. So they got like 3 pretty solid games, and then they got the Chargers a couple times. After Houston, they got the Chargers, so that'll be a tough division game too for them. So, and then they got Detroit, and then the Chargers again. So, and they got New England mixed in there, but. Yeah, it'll be there.
Winnable games is what it is.
Yeah, they're winnable games, but he's got a tough next 3 or 4 games though.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if they're for real the next 3 or 4 games, for sure.
So yeah, Sunday night post game with me, Johnny, and Sunday night post game with me, Johnny Cruz, and Rob Logan. No more baseball show for now, unless something big happens on the week, like if Shohei signs with somebody or something like that, we might go live. But Tuesday night instead.
Yeah, the World Series over, right? Who won that?
The Rangers, baby.
Let's go. All right, go ahead.
Right there, World Series champs.
There you go.
But yeah, I'll be joining, as Flo mentioned, I'll be joining the Bottom Line Sports crew on Tuesday on their show at 7 p.m. Central. Wednesday, we got the NFC South. Well, maybe the NFC South Roundtable. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to wait and see. We will have the NFC East Roundtable, though. All 4 of us will be available for that. We're thinking about doing the college football show. Actually, is confirmed. We're going to do the college football show on Black Friday. Before the Black Friday games start. So
we got a few of those Friday games too. I forgot about that.
We play on Friday. Oklahoma plays TCU on Friday. So
I was thinking the NFL because the NFL's got a Friday game too.
Mm-hmm. NFL has the Friday game, the Black Friday game. Jets and Dolphins. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to. That'll be an interesting one.
Yep.
But yeah. You can definitely check that out. Again, we'll be on Black Friday. And then, next week we probably won't have this show again either because we'll be playing on Thursday. So, again, I'll probably just jump on with these guys to preview the Thursday night game between the Cowboys and the Seahawks next week. So, then we'll be back. We'll be back proper in 3 weeks whenever these guys are on the road. Headed to Dallas to check out the Cowboys taking on the Eagles. So
let's go. It's gonna be me, Canteen, and then Omar, the sports professor, and then his dad Ruben. But three of the crew for the Bottom Line Sports is going to be at the Philly game. Let's go! We're going to be there live.
Well, definitely have fun with that. That's one thing on my bucket list is to go to AT&T Stadium to watch a game. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to definitely save up for that.
We couldn't convince Hot Take Jake to go to a Cowboys game.
No, unless they were playing Denver, he would have gone.
If they were playing Denver, he might have just shut up. But yeah, we couldn't convince him to come down for that. So, but and then it would have been the whole crew, but we couldn't do it. But anyway, yeah, should be fun. Yeah. Proper for the Philly game will be proper. Let's talk Dallas Cowboys will be proper in 3 weeks. Let's go.
So until then, guys, definitely like, comment, share, subscribe, not just to Let's Talk Sports, but the Bottom Line Sports as well. These guys do a great job with their show as well. A lot of good things you could find on both networks. So, there's something for everybody on the Let's Talk Sports network as well. So definitely check it all out. Anything else, gentlemen, before we end off here tonight?
You got anything, Ken?
Let's go Cowboys.
Let's go Cowboys. That's all I got to say.
Let's go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
Blow them out, baby. Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us. Right. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you in 3 weeks, I guess. So until then, love y'all. Stay safe.
All right, man.
Take care.
Go move in. Finish moving in.
Yep. I will.